super PAC, financed by his ally Elon Musk, released an ad that called her a C word. Although the ad eventually revealed that the C word was communist rather than the slur for women. Okay. And Trump's claim to protect women. Wait a minute, let me go back to that. Who's ever afraid to say the whole thing? Communist. No one. Trump's claim to protect women also flies in the face of his years-long history of misogyny. Dozens of claims and allegations of sexual misconduct, disdain, and pride in taking away women's rights to make choices about our bodies.
I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the you can do anything.
And you say, and again, this has become very famous in this video, I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the you can do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by the
Well, that's what it's. If you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately.
And you consider yourself to be a star?
I think you can say that, yeah.
But you running for president of the United States will be chief executive of the United States. Do you believe do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
You will be protected, and I will be your protector. Women. Women will be happy, healthy, confident, and free. You will no longer be thinking about abortion.
So much to unpack. For a million years, the dinosaurs and I have been grabbing. It's insane. But there's good news. Luckily for women and men disgusted by all or any of that, there is a real choice in this election. Here's what Vice President Harris has to say about it.
I will comment on the former President Donald Trump's remark about women and whether they like it or not. And listen, it actually is, I think, very offensive to women in terms of not understanding their agency, their authority, their right, and their ability to make decisions about their own lives, including their own bodies. And this is just the latest on a series of reveals by the former president of how he thinks about women and their agency. Whether he has said, as he has, that women should be punished for their choices, whether he has talked about his pride in taking away a fundamental right from women, whether it be how he has actually created a situation in America where now 1 in 3 women lives in a Trump abortion ban state and has legal restrictions on the right she rightly should have to make decisions about her own body.
That is where we start today with Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I've worked on campaigns, and in the closing days, you're usually presenting your message with everything you've got, and the other side is pushing back. I've never seen a campaign where you're making this message about what you will do to protect women's right to make their own choices, and Donald Trump is the one saying, and I will force them whether they want to or not. What do you make of how this is coming down to the wire?
When Donald Trump says that he will protect women whether they like it or not, this isn't about protection. This is about control. No abuser starts out by telling a woman, oh, it's, I want control. They start out by saying, it's going to be great. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to take care of you. And I will make your decisions. I will make sure. what happens in your life, and that they will seize control over the most important decisions you make. Donald Trump is being Donald Trump. He is showing us what a serial abuser does. And he wants to have that kind of power over women all across this country. And for every woman for whom that sends a chill down your spine, for yourself, for your sister, for your daughter, for your cousin, for your next door neighbor, know that between now and November 5th, Donald Trump doesn't have the power. You have the power. You have the ability to go to the polls and say no to Donald Trump. You have the power to do that. And if you've already voted, you also have the power to bring more people to the polls, to volunteer, to make sure that your cousin and your sister and your neighbor all make it to the polls. Donald Trump has put one of the central questions of this campaign right in front of us. Are we going to elect a serial abuser who wants to control people whether they like it or not, who wants to make those decisions about their bodies, about how they live their lives? Or are we going to take this power in a democracy and say no to a petty tyrant and abuser like Donald Trump, and instead use our power to vote for Kamala Harris? I think he's making the case for the contrast between the two.
The poll suggests there could be an unprecedented realignment that, and I view this, I mean, I've covered it now. I've covered Trump for 9 years. This is the first nonpartisan election in my lifetime, right? We're not choosing between Democratic things and Republican things. You're choosing between Vice President Kamala Harris, who will protect not just women, but the democratic system itself, and someone whose policies are so extreme. Liz Cheney has come out against Donald Trump on the issue of abortion by making the point that the post-Dobbs bans are, in some instances, killing women. Here's Vice President Kamala Harris talking about with that.
Here today is Shanette Williams, the mother of Amber Nicolle Thurman, a vibrant, we must speak her name, Amber Nicolle Thurman. I promised her mother I would speak her name. A vibrant 28-year-old mother of a 6-year-old son who died a preventable death because of Georgia's abortion ban. Now, Shanette and her family are courageously sharing Amber's story to make sure we all remember her as more than a statistic, so that we remember Amber was a daughter, a sister, a mother, and that she was loved, and that she should be alive today. And listen, we're all here because we know the reality is, for every story we hear about the suffering because of a Trump abortion ban, there are so many stories we've never heard, an untold number of women and the people who love them who are silently suffering, women who are being made to feel as though they did something wrong, as though they are criminals, as though they are alone. And to those women I say, and I think I speak on behalf of all of us, we see you and we are here with you.
Amber Thurman left behind a son, and Amber Thurman's story is so harrowing for its potential universality. Anyone having a complication in a miscarriage could be exactly where she is. Are you curious or willing to take a position as to whether or not there aren't more men than we're predicting who care that pregnancy, especially someone who already has children, may be deeply concerned about this too?
You know, I'm glad you raised this. Obviously, a huge part of this is directed at women, saying to women, exercise your power now while you have a chance to do this. But understand, it's not just women, it's also friends of women, the men who care about the women in their lives, the men who care about their sisters, their wives, their daughters, their friends, their co-workers. No one benefits from abuse except the abuser. No one wants to see this. People want the autonomy to make their own decisions. They want to decide the direction of their lives. And that's what we can do between now and Election Day by voting in Kamala Harris. She is there, you heard her language, to build opportunity for everyone. Donald Trump is not. It's all of a piece. When he says that he wants to be dictator for a day, it's another point about control. And when he says he wants to punish women who have had abortions, women who haven't done what Donald Trump wanted, he's telling you he wants control. He wants control over everyone else. And we make the decision, will he get that control or not? We can decide between now and November 5th, no, he will not get that control. And we need women to speak out. We need men to speak out. We need everyone to speak out. And they speak out by voting and getting their friends to vote.
The closing message on the other side is also historic and unprecedented. It is a tripling and a quadrupling down on things that even Fox News anchors try to get Trump to say, well, you don't really mean this stuff about prosecuting your enemies, and your side do. When you hear enemies within, and you hear Trump talk about going after Democrats and election officials and journalists and judges, do you feel concerned or scared?
I feel deeply concerned when I hear that, because he is talking about unraveling our entire democracy. He's talking about no more transition of power. It all belongs to Trump. And everyone in this country must bend a knee to Trump. That's his underlying message here. And that's why it's so important that we fight back. We still have the chance to do that. That we use this vote on November 5th in 2024 to say no to the tyrant.
Well, Senator Elizabeth Warren, thank you very much for taking the time to start us off today. It's great to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you, too.
Let's bring into our coverage MSNBC political analyst Erin Haynes. She's the editor-at-large for the 19th and host of the podcast, The Amendment. Also joining us, senior advisor to Planned Parenthood Texas Votes, Wendy Davis is here. And here at the table, Democratic strategist and professor at Columbia University, Basil Smikle's here. Wendy, this closing message, as I was getting at with the senator, it's more normal to say we both want to protect women's health, and here's how we're going to do it. In this case, the facts are so flagrantly and obviously and known to be against the Republican argument that you've got Trump up there at podium saying, I'm saying stuff that no one wants me to say, but here you go, as he staggers into a garbage truck. What do you make of the opportunity Vice President Kamala Harris has in these final days to really make sure people understand the stakes on Tuesday?
Thank you, Nicolle, for having me. You know, it was really wonderful to see Vice President Harris come to Texas as part of the closing days of her campaign, because she understands that no state has seen the kind of outfall like Texas has. We just saw a report, thanks to the great reporting